Ken had just settled into his hotel room in Lagos. The contract he came for was to last for 3 weeks. It was his first time in Lagos, a bustling city. He had always lived his life in Abuja and traveled throughout countries. Ken was the only son of his parents and his younger sister Nice. Ken and Nice lived like husbands and wife. He loved his sister so much that he told her every of his moves. Nice was studying at the University of Lagos. Finally, he gets to see his sister again after months of being absent from her. He had missed her so much. He got a call from his sister a few minutes he landed in Lagos, informing him of she coming to see him. He longed to embrace her. He had missed her so much. Each passing minute felt like an eternity as he eagerly waited her call. He couldn't wait for her arrival. Finally, his phone rang, informing her brother that she would be accompanied by a friend. Ken was waiting for them. A short while later, there was a knock on his door, and Ken's heart leaped with joy as he opened it to find Nice and her friend standing by the door. Nice immediately jumped on her brother with a tight hug, screaming, "I have missed you so much, big bro." Ken couldn't but admire his sister's beauty. "See how beautiful you've become. My money is really showing on you." Clara stood smiling at them. Ken felt a warmth of happiness. He ushered them into his hotel room, feeling like a proud brother. As they chatted, Ken couldn't help but notice Clara. "Why do you strike me as someone I've met before?" Ken asked. "She is Clara, my friend, the girl that stayed with us for days on my birthday vacation," Nice answered. Ken couldn't believe how much she has grown into a beautiful lady. It's been years he saw her. She had always been Nice's close friend, but she looks all grown and beautiful. Ken welcomed her nicely and offered them drinks. Nice was over her brother, gisting him as usual. He got a call from his girlfriend Evelyn. They spoke at length. Nice didn't like his girlfriend because she always makes her brother sick with complaints. She picks up a quarrel with Ken whenever he speaks to another lady. Evelyn inquired about the voices she heard in the background. Ken calmly explained that it was Nice and her friend who had come to visit him. However, Evelyn's response was unexpected as she grew visibly upset, sparking a heated argument over the phone. The tension escalated as Ken's voice grew louder in frustration, catching the attention of Nice and Clara, who were nearby. Nice quickly recognized the change in Ken's demeanor as he spoke on the phone with his girlfriend. She understood that Ken would never raise his voice or speak bluntly to a friend, colleague, or client, indicating that it was indeed his girlfriend on the line. After Ken ended the call, his mood shifted noticeably and he seemed distant towards his sister. Sensing his need for space, Nice reluctantly agreed to leave, promising to return the next day to visit him again. They exchanged a heartfelt hug before departing, leaving Ken alone in his room. As they arrived home that night, Clara couldn't shake off her concern for Ken's sudden change in mood. She gently probed, asking Nice what might have caused it, but Nice remained tight-lipped, refusing to divulge any detail about her brother's private life. Nice was always discreet when it comes to family matters, preferring to keep them within the confines of the family circle. Despite Clara's persistence, Nice remained steadfast in her silence, unwilling to breach the trust Ken had in her. The next day, Nice left for the hostel very early to go see her brother before he goes to work. He was surprised and happy to see his sister so early in the morning. She asked if he would want to talk about what happened between he and his girlfriend. Ken was already preparing for his meeting, and he asked his sister to wait for him when he comes back from work. They would discuss about it. When Ken got back from his meeting, he had already freshened up. He told his sister about what happened the day she and her friend came visiting and how it pissed Evelyn off. Her insecurities are getting worse by the day, and it's really annoying. She makes me sick, Ken said. Nice offered her only brother a straightforward advice to consider ending the relationship if it was becoming toxic. She emphasized the importance of prioritizing his own well-being and mental health above all else. However, Ken hesitated at the thoughts. He couldn't bear the idea of parting ways with his girlfriend, especially considering their long history together since the university days. Despite the challenges they faced, he still harbored deep feelings of love and affection for her. The day passed and Nice had already gone back to her lodge. Clara came visiting. They spoke about a lot of things: relationship, marriage, career, and money. Clara and Nice were two friends that planned life together. They loved and cared for each other as good friends should. They were friends that could count on each other. Clara had already planned to stay with Nice for a few days in her hostel. One fateful day, Ken visited Nice in school, but she wasn't in her hostel at the moment. He waited for Nice to come back, but in the meantime, he ended up chatting with Clara. They got along well. He found himself drawn to Clara's warmth and charms. He couldn't help but gaze at her, making her shy and uncomfortable. Their conversation flowed naturally like they were drawn to each other. When Night finally returned, she found her brother chatting with Clara. She was all over her brother. She couldn't get off him, acting like a baby. Clara was a very beautiful young girl in her mid 20s. She was in a relationship with a guy in school and they were so in love. Same with Nice. It was one week already spent in Lagos. Ken explored the city of Lagos with his sister on weekends. He couldn't help but ask his sister about Clara. He wanted to know more about her. He asked the kind of person she is, if she was in a relationship, and why she hasn't come with her since the first time they came together. Nice was surprised on hearing that. She asked why he's interested in those information about her friend, that does he like her friend? But Ken was shy to admit it. He waved the question with, she's a nice person, I'm just asking. So Nice answered her brother's question saying, Clara is a nice person, they've been friends for years, and she has never regretted being friends with her for once. She's also in a relationship and currently in her boyfriend's house. Ken responded saying, currently in her boyfriend's house, you say? Is that what she came to school to do? Nice couldn't help but laugh at her brother's reaction. She found it amusing how he seemed to take Clara's weekend plans so personal. Hey bro, relax. Clara's just hanging out with her boyfriend. It's no big deal. She observed her brother's jealous expression and couldn't shake the feeling that there might be more to his reaction than just concern for Clara. Days passed, Ken invited Nice and Clara to dinner in a hotel he lodged. They both graced the invite, looking stunning. Ken couldn't get his eyes off Clara. Her beautiful dress in her sexy body made him fall for her the more. She was his kind of girl, very attractive. But one thing he noticed that got him pissed during the dinner was she was on her phone throughout, chatting with her boyfriend. When they were done with their dinner, Ken asked if she enjoyed her meal and brought the topic of she being with her phone throughout. Clara apologized for making him feel disrespected, but he acted cool. He asked for her number and she willingly gave him. Afterwards, he dropped she and his sister in their hostel. Ken got to his hotel room that night, thinking about Clara. He couldn't shake off the emotions that swelled inside him. He wished she was single. That would have made things a lot easier. He gave her a call that night to inquire if she had gotten home. After the call, Clara pondered over it, finding it both thoughtful and a bit perplexing. She appreciated his concern for her safety, but yet wondered if he wasn't the one that dropped them in their hostel. She actually found him very cute, successful, charming, tall, handsome, every woman's dream. But she never entertained thoughts of anything beyond friendship with him. In her eyes, he was like an older brother, someone she respected immensely. She admired his confidence and the way he effortlessly attracted attention from others, but she never saw herself as a woman worthy of his affection. On a very cold Saturday morning, Ken reached out to Clara, inviting her to have breakfast with him. To his delight, she accepted without hesitation. He waited for her to arrive. When she did, they had breakfast together, and Ken seized the opportunity to open up on his intentions towards her. His words were, Clara, I'm an adult and I'm not going to beat about the bush. I see you have respect for me because you see me as someone who is old enough to be your brother, and I appreciate you for that. And I won't say because of that I would hold back on something as important as what I want to tell you. Clara was tensed and wondering about what he wants to tell her, and she was also shy of looking and listening to him for long. He continued, when a real man sees what he wants, he goes for it. I like you, Clara. The first time you stepped foot into this room, I couldn't get you off my mind. This might not be the first time of seeing you, but definitely the first time of seeing you grow into a mature, beautiful girl. I really do like you, and I'm hoping you please give us a try. I promise to treat you like the queen you are. Wow! Clara couldn't believe her ears. She was surprised to know that Ken found her attractive. She of all people, she said in her mind. She responded to him saying, Brother Ken, I never knew you found me attractive, but I'm in a relationship. And even if I wasn't, I'm sorry, but I don't think I would ever want to date you, bro Ken. Ouch. He found her response very discouraging and heartbreaking. He decided to let go of her since the feelings wasn't mutual. He understood her and respected her decision. That night was a painful one for Ken. He pondered on what she meant by "I don't think I would ever want to date you, bro Ken." And he beat himself for allowing himself fall for a girl of his younger sister's age. Clara thought about the whole thing that night. She was still in shock on hearing what Ken told her. She liked him but never imagined a thing like that. She could not stop thinking about what Ken told her. She was glad to know that Ken loves her and wanted her for a relationship. She felt so lucky to be Ken's choice. She promised herself to give him a chance if he talks about it again, but unfortunately, Ken never called nor texted her again. She became disturbed about it, always checking her phone to see if Ken's call would come in, but that never happened. It was already the third week of Ken's stay in Lagos. He was almost rounding up with his contract. Nice decided to spend the third week with her brother, knowing fully well that that was the end of his stay in Lagos. She used the little time her brother had to stay in Lagos to play and chat with him. She was already missing him. Nice got a call from her friend Clara, asking her whereabouts, and she told her that she is with her brother, spending the last day of his stay in Lagos with him. Clara asked if he would soon be traveling, and she said yes. She inquired about the particular day he would be traveling, and she told her. When they were done with the call, Nice asked her brother while they are playing hide and seek with their feelings. She advised her brother to open up on his feelings to her friend if he really likes her, rather than both of them always asking questions about each other. Ken replied saying he had already done that, but she turned him down. Wow, that shocked Nice and she felt sorry for her brother. Clara felt a sharp pain in her heart knowing that Ken would be traveling in 2 days from now. She was not happy that Ken didn't chase her nor fight for the love he claimed to have for her. She felt heartbroken and cried herself to sleep. The next day, she thought of going to see Ken to tell him how she feels about him. She got to his hotel room that morning, knocked on the door, and to his greatest surprise, it was Clara. She was the last person he would ever expect to see today. He ushered her into his room and asked his sister for a bit of privacy. Clara began, with tears in her eyes. "So you are about leaving. You said you loved me, yet never fought for the love you claimed to have for me. I turned you down once because I was shocked on hearing that you love me, but you never called or asked to see me. Now you are traveling." Ken was dumbfounded. The only thing that could come out of his mouth was, "I love you," and he hugged her tightly. "I love you too," she responded. Nice came in, cheering them up. Clara stayed with him the whole day and helped him pack his things. He paid for a room for his sister while he and his girlfriend shared his room. They spoke about their previous relationship having similar issues of insecurities and trust. There and then, Clara took her phone and called her boyfriend to end things with him. Ken was so proud of her for such audacity. He called his own girlfriend to end things with her. The next morning, Nice and Clara saw Ken off to the airport. He kissed his girlfriend goodbye and his sister. He left for Abuja. When he arrived at Abuja, he called the sister and his girlfriend on his arrival. He made sure he communicated with his girlfriend every day and they found themselves falling more and more in love with each other. Thank you so very much guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed the story. Please guys, do also give this video a thumbs up, share the video and subscribe to Substance TV. See you all in my next video. Until then, stay splendid.